You're listening to The Sacred CEO, your go-to mini podcast for energy-boosted business magic. I'm Elyse Falzone, your spiritual sage, and here we treat your business like the living, breathing soul that it is. Energy meets strategy. Each episode, I'll channel insights, check in with the chakra blueprint of your organization, and give your business the soulful upgrade it's been waiting for. Let's make business sacred and successful. Today, we are going all in, all out on the question, how? But how am I going to create that much cash flow? But how am I going to bring in that many clients? How? How many times have you asked the question how when it comes to business, to strategy, to hitting that next level? I know I've asked it 1,000,000+ times in my entrepreneurial career. But I will tell you, when you can learn to outsmart the question how and dig a bit deeper to see yourself living outside of the box, because truly there is no box. We've put our own constraints, our own self-sabotage around us, and we see through the lens that we have limits. But ultimately, we do not. And so in today's episode, we are bringing in the featured business, Home and Harmony Parenting. This is led and facilitated by the beautiful Monica Browning. She is a coach to parents, helping them move from surface level survival mode to soul level connection with their kids. Her work is grounded in the 7 pillars of parenting alignment, teaching parents how to communicate well, regulate themselves, and rebuild trust at home so their children feel seen, safe, and worthy. Woo! What a beautiful, beautiful way to bring work into this world. Kudos to you, Monica. I'm so excited to read your business. Monica and I met in a beautiful friend of ours container, Garen Jones, and what a beautiful experience for me to witness the transformation that happened in that space, and to now see your career take off, and you are now a 2-time international best-selling author. Hello, whoop whoop. So make sure y'all go give Monica a following over on Instagram, Home and Harmony Parenting. And I've been digging around, diving in, taking my notes for today's session, today's episode, because I really want to tune in to the possibility of what's next. And one of the biggest questions that Monica had for her business here is like, the belief around people choosing her as the parenting expert, as well as releasing and clearing this crazy big monstrous question, how do I reach the masses? How is this possible? What does this look like? And so we're going to talk a lot about the how, because I know I'm not the only one who's ever asked that question. When I sit down and meet with clients so many times, it's like, yeah, but how? But how am I going to do this? Even yesterday, as I was sitting by the ocean and meditating, I was listening to the waters, receiving from the elements, which I do many, many times in my own personal practice to connect with myself, to connect with my business. I heard the water share with me, and I heard Spirit's voice say so many times, a goal is set without the energetic support to it. Now, I want to explain further. So many times we're like, I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to make $50,000 a month. I want to make $100,000 a month. I want my annual revenue to be $1 million. Whatever the goal is, it's like, cool. You can say it and you can state it, but are you equally matching the energy to that goal? And so what the water was sharing with me is kind of a little bit of a reverse moment here. So for example, the goal could be, instead, in the next 30 days, I will sell 100 of my programs, or in the next 30 days, I'm growing my following to, multiple thousands of followers. And all of a sudden, it's not necessarily tied to money. People are funny with money. We've been taught a lot of funny things about money. And so sometimes when we make a money goal, there's automatic and subconscious things that kind of take over and we don't even realize it. So getting outside of it and actually creating steps, like actionary steps to check off the box. If you were to make 100 reels and post 100 reels in the next 30 days, what could that create in your business? And I'm not just speaking to Monica right now. I'm speaking as a broad voice right now to this big question of how. Because many times our subconscious is not connecting the dots to the goal that we actually set. So let's take this 100 reels thing for a moment. If you were to set an intention, bring your authority forward, share what it is that you do, bring in some cool, fun challenges, make it really exciting, and get yourself seen with the strategy of actually posting those reels, imagine what could happen. Imagine how many people could share it. Imagine how many people could see you. Imagine how many people could start purchasing your product and your offering because you actually made the how your goal. So we're going to come back to this. This is really, really cool and a way to outplay the big question how. We're going to come back, but let's drop in now for a moment. Let's take a deep breath. Shimmy, shake it out. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to dive in with Monica's business right here. Home and Harmony Parenting. What a brilliant and beautiful thing. So many of our kids need this right now in today's society with all of the distractions. Parenting, I almost said politics, all the things that are going on. It's a little bit wild and chaotic, and yet what a beautiful and profound opportunity for parents to be present, to be with their children, to be with family. I know for myself, I've got 2 youngins at home with my husband, and we are constantly in like, okay, let's reconfigure this. Let's create new patterns. Let's create new communication here. Whoop, that one didn't work. Let's step in here. So I'm really excited to bring some juice to the party here. Okay, so the biggest thing, Monica, that I heard immediately as I was looking through your reels, I was, moving through your Instagram page, popping into your links, all the things is why does it matter? Why does it matter that parents create safe homes for the children? Why does it matter that there's powerful communication? Why does it matter that there's union within the family? It's beautiful that kids feel safe and seen, but what's deeper than that? Is it because when there's harmony, then these kids can actually they feel empowered to make choices for themselves, that they have their own autonomy, that they have an awareness and a presence to be in the world with this like sovereign way of choice? What is the reason why? Because I'm not hearing that in the current marketing. Why is this so important? Why is it important? I watched your reel on be careful and saying, not saying be careful. And I've heard that a million times and I still say be careful to my kids. It's this thing that we've programmed ourselves to say, and yet in your reel, you were saying, let's get specific. Let's get specific about watch the edge. Do you have a plan? And I want to know more about that kind of stuff inside of your marketing around your home and Harmony Parenting. What is the richness of the why? Because when you ask them if they have a plan, when you ask them, are they aware of the edge? If you ask them, what's your next move? There is critical thinking that happens. Why is critical thinking important for a child? What does it develop for the future of their adulthood? What does it develop and create inside of the family unit? Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I want to know all the layers to why it matters. You don't want your followers' brains to have to think about, why is what this woman's saying important? I know it's important. You know it's important. But anyone who lands on your page, what's the most important piece? You deserve to have health, you deserve to have peace, and you deserve to have joy that is so overflowing that you can create whatever kind of life that you want to create with you and your children. More directive and punch with the energy. And again, I'm not just speaking to Monica. For those of you who are running your business, where are you missing that deep, passionate, why it matters? Okay, the next piece that is really important here is building authority. Building authority, I could tell y'all, maybe I'll do a whole podcast episode on this. I have had my own personal journey about building authority in my business for many, 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 many reasons. I want to stay humble. I don't like bragging. I've had a past history in my childhood when I would win first place. I'd have a mom come to me like, your daughter shouldn't have won first place. My daughter should have. There's been a lot in my personal past that challenged me in building my authority. Even though I could go through the list of what I've created in these first 40 years of my life, that is wildly successful, wildly beautiful, wildly over the top, that some don't even ever get to experience in their life. And I'm so damn grateful for that. But I don't always share it. And so that authority piece has been a little bit of a hiccup. And so I'm calling the authority piece forward for you, Monica, and anyone else who's listening to this, who's been hiding in the shadows, about how freaking awesome you actually are. And what you've actually gone through in your life, both in experience and education, to know the things that you know, to share the things that you share. It's not enough in today's world to just offer tips. It's not enough to just say, hey, like, these are the things that I know and I want to teach you and I want to help you and I want to coach you. Here's my cool, amazing product. Can you buy it? No, you've got to share. Like, I have been through the trenches. This is what I'm going through. This is what I have been through. I have been on X amount of stages. I've had 2 decades of XYZ. I was reading that. 2 decades of educational experience that Monica has had. I want to know more about that in your reels. I want to know more about that when you teach. I want to know what you've learned from those experiences, because that builds trust and that builds authenticity and that builds like, I don't know what she's got going on, but I want this. Okay. I also wrote down this phrase. That's exactly why I created XYZ. That's exactly why I created XYZ. So in your reels, bigger, bolder call to action. A lot of your reels were about play or cooking or, things like the be careful moment that parents can consider. But then I want you to say somewhere in there, infuse this or a version of this. This is why this topic is so important. Because this topic is so important, I created XYZ. I went to your link tree. You have so many cool things that you're selling. Your tantrum toolbox, your picky eater playbook, your mealtime matters. I had no idea by looking at your site that you were selling those things. I didn't know if you were coaching people one-on-one, if you had group parenting coaches, if you're working with families in like a full family kind of therapy moment, or what you were selling until I went to that link tree. So in those reels, when I'm popping into your face, to your energy, to your voice, the value that you're providing is mega. But I didn't know that there was more until I proactively went into that link tree. So in your reels, call to action. Like, the reason why I'm sharing this tip is because it radically changed my life. The reason why, or this is exactly why, when you're doing your cooking, I saw like a little apricot, tomato, video where you were doing like grilled apricots. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. After that, it's like the reason why I talk about family healthy meals, or this is, what did I say? That's exactly the way I created. So share the tip that you're sharing about the apricots. And then it's like, this is exactly why I created the Picky Eater Playbook or the Mealtime Matters, whichever one you're going to go for. But I want to know how I can get more. And I'm not seeing that. So that right there is a blocking point. And this happens for so many of us in the industry. We're not sharing frequently enough how to actually press the buy button. Okay. Also adding something like this, like here's the tip, here's the tool, here's the thing. This is who I am. I'm helping parents, XYZ, XYZ. I do this through food, through play, through empowering words. I want to know the 2 or 3 main things that I'm coming to your page for. What are you representing? Clearly, food really matters to you. I want to know more about why it matters. Going back to that question, why does it matter? Why does it matter? You do, and how do you teach? So you teach these parenting skills. You teach this family harmony unit through food, through play, through communication, empowering, encouraging communication. I want to know what you're known for. Also, side note, I did not find your book. You're a 2-time international best-selling author. And I didn't know how I could find your book on your Linktree. And I had to search your website. So again, it says that in your Instagram bio. I want that to be the first thing on the list. I want to be able to buy your book. Boom, immediately. Okay, here's the other thing. We're coming back to this question of how. How? Switch it up. Turn the goal on its head. I don't actually know what your personal goals are for your business right now, but turn the goal on its head. So what is your personal next level of bold? What is your personal next level of bold? Is it some sort of a challenge? Is it some sort of what I mentioned in the beginning, 100 reels in 30 days that are intentional and focused on a specific product and a specific ask, building your authority of why you are teaching all that you are teaching? That's my challenge to you, Monica, and to every listener on here. Challenge yourself with a bold next step, which will outsmart the how, because you're actually getting into action. Maybe it's an email. Maybe you're lacking in your email marketing department. Okay, put a very strategic email marketing plan together where you're sending out however many emails in consistency with a plan. Most of the time we just fall off. The how is in the consistency, the how is in the passion, and the how is, the word that wants to come forward is bulldozing. How do you just bulldoze forward without getting afraid of what someone's going to say, without being like, I don't know, maybe I should do that instead? Pick a lane and go full force. But your goal, if it's a money goal and you've never hit that money goal, your brain is automatically going to say, I don't know how to do that. And you create the separation. So create a how, create a plan, create a goal that you already know how to do. You know how to post a reel. Your brain isn't going to say, how do I post a reel? Your brain's going to say, okay. It might say, wow, that's going to take a lot of time to post 100 reels. It's going to take a lot of energy and effort, but it already knows how to do that step. So the how and that question of the how that takes up so much brain space will now dissipate. And you can free yourself to go after the action, and those actions with intention create the money goal, create the visibility goal, create the thing that it is that you are seeking. Woo! The last thing that I want to say here, actually, I want to say a few more things. You know that your work is of great value. And you know that what you are teaching is like, you're worthy of it. You're worthy to teach it. You know that. It's come to you. But now you must teach your audience. So this is the part of being seen and building that authority again, is sharing why you're doing what you're doing and teaching us to trust you through your path and through your voice and through your mission. The last thing that I'm going to wrap up with here is a little bit more on the spiritual side of things. So before I started this episode, I lit an Archangel Michael incense stick. This is an incense stick that I got when I took a spiritual pilgrimage to Brazil many, many years ago. Oh my gosh, it's been 10 years. Whoa! In 2015, I took a journey to Brazil. And these incense are still some of the most decadent and rich smells. And I haven't burned this particular incense in a very long time. I trust everything that happens inside of my channel and inside of what happens in these moments. So it did not go unnoticed that Archangel Michael is the archangel that's present here for you in your business. Archangel Michael is a protector. Archangel Michael is definitely more of a masculine energy, although we can say angels are like androgynous. But Archangel Michael does have more of that masculine structure. Okay, so know that you are being supported. Wherever the masculine energy has failed you in the past, this is your like God wink moment to let you know that the masculine is supporting you. Archangel Michael is here in all of his glory and energy. I'm seeing the golds and the blues here to support the functionality and the structure of your business. So if there is a question mark in the back of your head, please know that that question mark can be removed. You are so supported. And then I tuned into Brazil. Like, okay, I was in Brazil when I got these incense. So what are some of the things that I learned during that pilgrimage? I learned a lot, by the way. But the one thing that came forward for you, Monica, here is that there's always more that meets the eye. And there's something about that phrase that feels really valuable for you to bring into your coaching and to your teaching. There's always more that meets the eye, and we go there. Part of what you said, I'm going to pull it up again in your intake form and how you explained your business. Where does it say? I coach parents to move from surface level survival mode to soul level connection. So this phrase, there's always more that meets the eye, and we go there. We go there with your kids. We go there with you. We go there to clear the muck so that you can really meet each other heart to heart. Which then, going back to why it matters, this matters for the health of your physical body. This matters for the health of your emotional state. This matters for social engagement in the world. It matters. So remember, each of you, what you are doing in this world matters. Who you're teaching, who you're coaching, the product that you're bringing to the market matters. But you've got to remind us as the consumers, as the clients, as the avatars that you are calling into your business. You've got to let us know why it matters and why you're the person that is so valuable and so worthy and so trusting for us to say yes. And this also requires a deeper trust of yourself. So may you trust yourself. May you trust yourself. May you trust yourself to the deepest core, And may your intuition come so fully online that you can meet your clients, you can meet yourself, you can meet your business at the deepest depth of your heart space. And that huge question of how begins to dissipate when you choose to show who you are and outsmart that goal. Been a fun one. I love you all so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. See you on the next episode. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to The Sacred CEO, your go-to mini podcast for energy-boosted business magic. I'm Elyse Falzone, your spiritual sage, and I'll see you on the next round. And for those of you who are ready for your own business soulful upgrade, Be sure to click the link below in the show notes to apply to have your business featured on the show. Love and Awakening. Bye-bye.